kids, it would be a perfect set. But
Yeah.
it's just there's so many kids, we can't help it. I mean, we can't sit there quietly in the resource center all day.
We know that they're at a stage of development where they have to push the system as far as they possibly can, because that's your job as an adolescent.
We're just kids, and you're here to work, but we're also here to have a good time.
I can't imagine my life before Degrassi. I mean, I was a real loner. I didn't hang out with people. But now, my social life is with the people here on set. I really enjoy hanging out with the people on set because I can be myself, we can have a great time and have fun, you know?
Away from the classrooms, their real ones as well as those of Degrassi Junior High, the actors get together and often swap old tales from their program's growing history. The day, for instance, when an underage Pat Mastroianni took a little joyride in the company van.
Oh, that was nice. I'll give you a break, all right? It wasn't my fault, all right? So whose fault was it? Look, it was your fault.
Okay, let's hear your side.
Everyone's in the van, there's about 10 kids in the van, and someone dared me to put in reverse, so... I looked around, you know, everyone's around, so... You didn't even go too far. I went about a meter. A foot and a half. A meter. You went about 3 centimeters. I drove a foot and a half. Sherry just walks out of... All I hear is... Get out of the car! I'm just like... Wouldn't it be amazing to go for a drive? Yeah.
The producers put Pat on probation for 2 weeks, but this is Degrassi, where art imitates life, and so, naturally, the incident became part of a show.
Trust me.
As always, there are consequences, and Joey, Wheels, and Snake soon learn the price of their prank.
You're looking at $85.
85 bucks.
Do you use real stories, like that really happened to you, or do they just, you know, like make them up or something? I mean,
The close relationship between daily life and the show's stories strikes a chord wherever the cast goes.
They get their ideas from teenagers. Of course, they watch us a lot to get ideas.
For young people, no matter where they live, the stories on Degrassi seem lifted from their own lives. In fact, sometimes the inspiration comes from the young actors' lives, as when Neil Hope lost his own father and months later played this scene.
Mom and Dad, they're okay.
Oh, Derek, your mother and father, they're dead.
No.
They're dead.
No.
As my personal self, I have some experience in death with around myself.
Every year, the kids were saying we got to have a story about death, and we were reluctant to do it because how do you begin to do it? Well, the obvious person to perform it would be Neil. Is that a good idea? Is it fair to him? Is he ready for it? And he was very enthusiastic about it. He wanted to do it. He had a lot of confirmations, suggestions.
When I lost my dad, I felt more sad than angry. I wasn't going to turn it down because then I thought that it would be a good experience for myself to do it. And at first I was scared to go into filming of it, I was kind of worried that I was going to start thinking about my father again. And what was really weird, when we were filming the funeral scene in the cemetery, I just looked at one of those caskets and, you know, that's all I saw was my father laying there. And which I thought, in a way, it helped, because then I was putting my emotions along with Wheel's emotions into it.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
We realized that what we've done is we've created this world of Degrassi Junior High that exists beyond the screen, It amazes us sometimes when we look around and see what it is we've created. We've got Degrassi clothing, we've got T-shirts, we've got Degrassi books, we're going to have Degrassi records coming out. I mean, Degrassi has become an adjective, the Degrassi experience.
That experience means thousands of Dear Degrassi letters, from adults as well as kids. They seek advice or favors or just friendship, so they sometimes miss an important point.
There was this one girl, it was really funny. She was just turning 12 years old, and she wrote to me from Vancouver. She said, well, would you like to come to my birthday party? You can bring your bodyguards. Bodyguards?
Some of the actors have become world famous, but star is a four-letter word around Degrassi, where it's the rep company that matters. Autograph parties, the players take turns, and in case anyone's head starts to swell, there are always the rushes.
You see how my eyes are moving? Mm-hmm. I thought, you know, it showed awkwardness when you move your eyes a lot like that.
So, but what's Joey being awkward about here?
You caught me there. But, I mean...
Then there are workshops called Coping with Success, sessions that emphasize that no actor works alone, that everyone in the cast is essential.
When we did the workshops this year, one of the exercises we did was a support exercise, which was very physical. And out of that, we explained that Joey, for instance, is a very important character, but he couldn't survive on screen unless he had other characters who were supporting him.
You need support to do that role. You can't do it by yourself. And I think they were trying to teach us, you know, that we need one another to make a good show. Trust, that's what I like. It's okay. It was kind of...
You're listening to CKNW. We're coming to you from the downtown studios in Vancouver. Line 1, go ahead to Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda.
Hi.
Well, may I call you Spike?
Whichever you like.
Your story fascinates me.
Amanda Steptoe is on a cross-Canada tour promoting a book about her character, Spike.
Hey, guys! Spike!
The story of strong-willed Spike Nelson and her pregnancy was one of the most popular episodes on Degrassi. In it, Amanda's portrayal of a pregnant 8th grader was so convincing that some fans offered to send her clothes for the baby.
Is it the baby? Call my mom. Quick!
Line 9, you wanted to speak with Spike.
Hi.
Someone talking to you?
Yeah.
To some viewers, Amanda is Spike, which sometimes puts her on the spot.
How old do you think you should be before you start to have sex?
I think it depends on the person, really. Like,
Poor Amanda, she's constantly asked, you know, are you really pregnant? What's it like? I mean, a lot of the fan mail says to her, I really like my boyfriend very much. Should I have sex? And we tell the kids, you're not teen counselors.
She can't really tell you what it's like to be a 14-year-old who has to go home and tell her parents that she's pregnant. That's what scares me, is that the audience sometimes expects the kids to have knowledge about their characters that they don't have in real life.
I'm divorced, and I want to make sure I sort of understand my son and as he grows up. And
Yet some parents find Amanda and the show help them understand their own teenagers.
Well, I'm glad that you're older and you like the show because it is aimed at everyone, not just generally.
Oh, I think more parents should watch the show because
it brings up questions that a parent or a child wouldn't bring up themselves. If I was watching it with my mom and I was 13, after watching it, you could kind of turn and get into a conversation about it, but otherwise it was like you wouldn't mention it.
Because I think a lot of parents are lost. They don't know what kids are thinking, what they're doing, what they're talking about. And I think Degrassi is helping the parents as well as the kids to help open up.
Amanda Steptoe, thank you very much for coming into the studio today. It's been a delight meeting Spike. I now know what that hair is all about.
Degrassi Junior High is now subtitled or dubbed in more than 30 languages.
Voglio dire proprio strani, come se quando ti svegli perdi. Polluzione notturna?
From a single Canadian classroom, Yick and Arthur's adolescent traumas have become an international talking point. From Iceland to Asia, the language of the dialogue is less important than the humanity and the honesty of the story.
All these experiences, I think, are universal. So the kid in China will, of course, enjoy those weird Canadian things, but I think the kid will relate to the fact that Arthur doesn't know where his dog's going to live, or Spike doesn't know what to do with the baby, and Wheels doesn't know what to do about his parents.
I don't have any ambition that we're on that kind of mission, that we're going to stop all kids from taking drugs and no kid is going to have any kind of sex unless it's safe sex after having watched Degrassi. I think our biggest mandate is to present kids with alternatives for behavior, and then it's still up to them which way they're going to choose. But let them make life choices from an informed base rather than just out of naivety.
My mom says people are better off with their own kind.